Hello Libras, happy birthday to you during your season. This is such an exciting time to be here, and I hope that you are enjoying yourself and finding much growth and pleasure in the process of growing as well. Although I know because it's growth, it's not always easy. So we're all here together, we're all doing the best that we can and supporting one another through this immense amount of transition that we're going through as a collective, and we're all showing up in our own way to do the work that we need to do, whether we are aware of it or not. So I've had some very interesting reads so far. I'm about halfway through the cycle here as far as the different astrology signs go for this season. And I guess it's just been kind of a collective trend that every sign seems to be, going at least 1 to 2 more levels up, like a few more octaves up in their energies. And we're really learning some profound things about how we can transcend what we've come to know about ourselves and the sort of limitations that we will now see that we were in compared to where we can go at this time. And I think that through all the challenges that we've been experiencing collectively, that we're now starting to harvest really the big lessons, the big gains out of the sacrifices that we have made collectively. And I'm not saying that we're not going to have to continue making those sacrifices. I do think that we will have to be in a lot of energy that we're going to find quite challenging, but we may be encouraged to keep going if we can kind of get some boost this month, some gains in where we've gone thus far and what we've really been able to achieve out of this process. So this reading is an extension of the daily chakras ascension readings that I do, where it evolves the concept of getting our chakras to this point of where they can all kind of combine into one central chakra that comes out of our heart space, and the energy that we can cultivate, this sort of inner sun that we could bring about there, would then be able to affect the environment in a way to be able to feed the environment instead of needing so much from the environment. So in a way we would become more of an enlightened being through this process. So I've placed a central card in honor of that, as well as this radiating complementary set of cards, which I have superimposed the astrological wheel on so that we can break down different segments of reality and kind of talk about them so that we can digest certain themes a little bit easier instead of looking at everything in one as just one big holistic picture. So we will begin with the first house when we get over to that and work our way around to the 12th house energies. And you have, these placements in your chart, so you may have different planets and asteroids and things showing up in each of your houses than other people within your sign. But hopefully we'll get some energies here for you as a group that really speak to what could be going on with you. So let's just have a little read of the small message here on the back of your card. The heart is the true seat of power, so just love everyone involved, and all will unfold gracefully in its own time. An angel watches over you with patience, love, and perseverance. All will work out fine. Be guided by the wisdom of your heart. So we'll see if that kind of plays out in the rest of the reading or not. Okay, I'm going to now just take a second to kind of soak in to the intuitive messages. All right, I think what I'm seeing for you, and it does not surprise me for Libra energy, is that you may be having some conflict either with yourself or with another energy, especially a feminine energy. This could be a child, this could be a sister, this could be a friend. That's what I'm mainly getting. Someone that you love. And I see that you are feeling fairly wise and loving. I mean, Libra really is such an Empress energy. Like you tend to have it all together. And there seems to be a boundary with, and I'm getting a lot of child energy here, with maybe a child, especially like a preteen or getting towards that age a little bit. It just feels like there's a disconnect. I'm sure that you're doing what you can out of love and to be there for this person, but this person is not 100% in self-love. It's like you have protected them with your love. They have that, but there feels like there's a lot of grief, and that they're like, you may be able to give to them, but there may be a boundary for them to have access to your vulnerability. And you know, I'm kind of getting like a subtle, like a mother's authority here. So you may actually have a child, or just another person, or an aspect of yourself that really has the ability to connect with you in that way, and you're just not allowing that to happen. You know, you may want to have a more traditional role that you're playing where these clear boundaries are in place, yet this other person wishes to have a different type of boundary, a different type of relationship, different types of roles. So I'm not sure if that will make sense at large, but that is what I'm getting off of that. And again, I feel pretty strongly that there's a lot of younger energy, child energy, feminine energy, mother-child type of energies here. Okay. So let's move now over to your first house. This is your house of identity and how you're really showing up and presenting yourself. And I see that you could be a bit intimidating, you could be a bit sharp. You may not notice that you're appearing like this. To you, you're just sort of natural. You may be a little bit tired at this time, kind of wore thin. You're trying to remain in your power and your integrity and the energy that you're accustomed to. I see that you may, I don't know, you might have like some allergies or a little cold, something like respiratory, some sort of irritation there. You may also just be getting like a little bit of a flare up there, like maybe you might be slightly angry or just, just having a little bit of, but not like overwhelmingly so, like tinges of thoughts that might be getting at you. And I'm feeling also like, I feel like you're really tired and you've been working probably excessively hard and you just feel drained. Like there's a sense that like this life force energy just isn't as vibrant as it could be. I don't like seeing this for you, by the way, during your birthday season. This isn't what I want to see. I feel like the environment feels like this too, like how you're feeling inside. It's like it's completely harmonized with what's going on outside of you. So I don't know if there's actually like a issue where you're just feeling like this and then your environment isn't appearing so great because you're kind of projecting that onto it, or there's actually a lot of toxic things coming in from your environment that are creating a lot of harm for you. And this could be a two-way process, you know, a little bit of both going on at the same time. So I really want to see, I'm hoping something comes through here that will alleviate some of this, because so far I'm not seeing like the lightest energies for you, although, you know, I hope to give you things that help you grow and help you transform, and part of that is doing like the difficult work. So it's okay if we're having issues and we're having problems. It's just part of being human and being alive. So let's take a look here at your second house of value. Again, I'm getting kind of some of the same energy. I feel like you've had to be strong. You may have had to be a child that grew up quickly and had to learn how to be a mother. Maybe you had to be a mother to yourself. And you just know how to be in that energy and how to be protective and do the best that you can. And it's not always pretty, it's not always friendly, it's not always graceful and loving, and it doesn't make you appear the best, and it doesn't feel the best to be around. I mean, a lot of this is about feeling here, both emotionally and energy-wise. And there seems to be a bit of a disconnect, like there's a little bit of like glow coming through, like you're getting some nurturance from your environment, but not an overwhelming amount of it. Like there's a lot of dullness and just sort of lack, I don't want to say lack mentality, but like this maintenance and just the drudgery of maybe the daily toll or something here. Okay, let's see what we get here in the third house for you, which is your communication and your community. So I see that you may be really trying to keep things secure and have built quite a bit based on your ideals, and that you have very high standards and expectations, and that there's a lot of effort and structure that goes into that. There's a lot to maintain there. And it feels like that's kind of maybe under threat, that could potentially be no more, that those things are no longer a priority, that there is actually no way to sustain that. Like I get a feeling that even though that you may have acquired a lot of wealth, or material goods, property, but you're realizing that is unstable. And as hard as you've worked for it, like given yourself over for it, you realize how easy it is to lose. Okay, Libra, we're going to carry on. Something good's going to come of all this. Okay, so I'm looking at your fourth house of home and family. You may have someone like a male presence in your home that is providing you with a sense of inner strength and support, and maybe kind of a softness to everything, even though he's showing up as the male energy. This may be a male with more effeminate qualities, and is kind of bringing in the energy that may help balance out some of these more intense energies of female energy that's on, like become less female and more male. So I hope that that's the case for you. You may just have someone in your family, like a father figure, a brother, an uncle, or a really close friend to you that feels like family, that can provide some of the energy that you may be lacking, that can help balance you out and make you feel like there's another way to be in the world, or that there's other energy aside from what you're able to hold and emit right now. So I hope this is okay, because this for me is really showing up as some support for you in a way that feels very calm. Now, this energy in and of itself feels kind of deep and reflective, and tinging towards like sadness. So this person may not be the most bubbly person, or, you know, they might have a lot of issues themselves. But I think what, you know, we are getting here is a fair amount of like reality, you know, that life isn't like full of glamour and play and spectacular things all the time, that, you know, we do have these moments when life gets very real and it feels like we're in that energy right now. And that's okay. I mean, actually, I'm not surprised to see that for Libras, because you deal so much with relationships, and that's the real muck and mire of life. You know, that's probably one of our most challenging things to deal with, are our interpersonal connections. So I'm looking now at the 5th house, which is really where you are showing up in the world, where you can put your authority and garner respect back for it. Now, I'm seeing you somewhat as this, like in the earth goddess energy a little bit. And again, it's like you're so strong. It's definitely that emperor energy, but it verges on getting perceived as kind of dangerous, kind of dark, kind of edgy. And, you know, it's like the dark goddess energy. You know, maybe you're not doing what's normative, what's expected of you by society, and you're acting in like feminine energy that doesn't cater to a traditional role by any means. You're acting because it is what needs to be done, and it's not about people pleasing. And amazing. I love to see that. That is really something to respect. So you may be a leader in like feminism right now. You might be able to speak out in your workplace for that, or, you know, some way you might be modeling this type of behavior and actually owning the energy and you know, doing it and be authentic in it. And that is super special for the times that we're in. So if you are doing that, thank you from the collective for showing up for that. And it's like you are kind of claiming that like this is the true gift of existence, you know, by showing up, being authentic, you know, not playing pretty, not staying in just the flower, not being the seductress role. Like, this is where you get to the fruit of life. This is where you get to the true harvest. This is where you can actually get the seeds to then plant something else and grow something new and continue the cycle. This is the Empress energy. So very amazing to see. And it does look like you are getting, you know, I am kind of seeing in some of these other cards, sort of this other energy coming in and supporting you from your environment to help you. Now we're going to have a look here at your house of daily routines and health. And it looks like this is making me happy. It looks like you are kind of allowing yourself to let loose a little bit, like you know how to play, you're having some fun. So I'm really happy to see that, especially showing up in health, because I've been a little bit concerned here, and you know, as a daily thing, as a routine thing. So it looks like you are doing what you can to take care. Some of that may be exploring or, you know, using substances a little bit to help you maintain a certain type of high. So, you know, it is kind of getting into a little questionable zone as well as to what's going on there. You know, you may be experiencing a lot of grief, strife, struggle, and you may be using substances to kind of help alleviate some of that. But, you know, what we can to kind of not go fully in that zone, you know, and make that out to be negative, you know, this could be, you know, drinking healthy juices. This could be doing a aerobic workout, a dance workout, just playing in general, allowing yourself to laugh, to be, you know, tell jokes, be jestful. And, you know, maybe if you are exploring some herbal remedies or things that help alleviate frames of mind that are kind of stuck and stagnant, you know, that give you a different perspective, then, you know, by all means, you know, it's part of our reality. It's there as like medicine. It's there to heal us. So as long as it's not done in a way of excess, you know, these things, this type of medicinal practices can be highly beneficial. So let's look now at, you know, your house here, the 7th. And it's going to be speaking to relationships, of course, harmony, beauty. And I see you kind of getting in touch. It feels like you're letting go of some of this heavier energy, maybe through this. Maybe you've done some healing. And it feels like you're kind of getting some youthfulness back. And at the same time, you're not losing anything. In a way, it's like you're growing in your glory by kind of letting go of some of the heavier energies. And that's allowing for even more abundance to come in. So I encourage you to release anything that feels stagnant, that feels like it's kind of ready to die away and just be transformed, because it's certainly going to help restore you and allow for these other energies that want to come through. It's almost like they're there, but they can't come in because it's so dense, it's hard to permeate it. So you need to like lighten up, become less dense, so that you can really let your environment fuel you. Okay, now I'm going to look at your house of what's maybe hidden in the depths of you, secrets. This is such a dark card that I can't even really see into it. So you may be feeling like that. You know, again, I'm getting more of that initial energy that we were getting here. And so this may be something that you have really internalized. You may have been dealing with some very heavy things during this time, to where you are feeling just so compacted and dense inside, and just, you know, like the world has just been, it's almost like a sci-fi movie inside of you that feels apocalyptic or something, where, you know, it's like just not of this reality. And I do see that some of it may be through just the emotions not really being intact. And I know that I brought this up for you last month too, and I was really encouraging you to get in touch with a broader range of feelings, because it felt like you were kind of operating in like a polar reality with emotions, like you just had like sort of two options. And so if you haven't done that work, at this point you could have become even more blocked. So again, anything that can help break up the energy, that helps you explore emotions beyond these darker things. And I can only imagine, like, with your energy during these times where you want balance and cooperation and things to look beautiful, like for Libras, like this must be so challenging to witness. So I think what we as a collective have to get into is a switch from the material to the spiritual. So regardless of what's going on around us in our physical realm, not that it's not important, there are still other dimensions that we are part of, and our energetic body and our ability to connect to other, you know, spiritual realms, if we want to call them that, is just as much part of our makeup as our physical reality. So this is, you know, a time that I think is encouraging you to look beyond the physical and the density there, and get in touch with the lighter things in life that involve other, you know, even like your emotions as well, you know, other things that are energetic, that create flow, that create movement in your life, because there's certainly the opportunity for you to transform through that and find a way to be and exist beyond more of the 3D realm, which I know you're so good at harvesting and receiving and mastering. So yeah, I mean, I think that your faith has really been tested throughout all this. Okay, let's keep going through, see what else wants to come out for you. We have your 9th house. This is really your ability to go higher, to go beyond your limitations and be in touch with thoughts that are greater than what you've thought before. This is a beautiful energy. Again, I'm seeing like that loving pink feminine energy coming in. And I'm getting a bit of what I got off of here. There's something with coming together, like if you've been at odds with yourself or with another female, especially someone that could feel like a sister or a family member, this may be deciding to like come together and see that you're more alike than different, and to find your common ground and use your commonalities to restore your relationship, to look at that as a way to make reality feel so much better. Now, I see that it helps start to transform your environment, but I still feel that there is almost a loss here, like a loss of a relationship or a way of being in a relationship. And you may not be entirely willing to let go yet. So this is really a card for me that is like where you're on the precipice, where you're just about ready to fully let go, and then like the new change is coming in, and you know, like things are going to be restored, kind of like this energy here. But we have to let go of, we have to clear out the denser energy that we've accumulated to fully be alive. So let's look now at your 10th house of what is going on with, you know, really your legacy, where you can give a lot on in the public sphere. And yeah, I almost feel like you have something going on at your core that is alien to who you really are and has controlled you since your childhood, and you've kind of built your whole world around it. And you may be looking back and looking at your inner child as your source of life, as your source of play, as your way to restore yourself, honoring that. Because if you were a mother too early, you know, if you had to mother yourself as a child, you never got to be a child, you never got to play. And there's part of our childhood that is so connected to different spiritual sources and other dimensions and stuff. You know, the child is a natural conduit for that before it's been shut down. So you may find that beyond just, you know, this emotional restoration, by being able to let go of sort of this inner control that you've had, this inner self that you've created that isn't even you, you may find quite a bit of restoration and self-expansion be able to happen. And there could also be some issues with men in the past, that you have had issues feeling like their hearts are just not in the right space with you, and you have always at least tried to work from your heart space. You've been very genuine there, very giving from your heart, which I would acknowledge, like Libras are fantastic at doing. And you just have not had men show up in the same way. And I really feel like there's something going on here with, the childhood. And it, if we return back to your center card, even this could be, like your inner child, this relationship that you have here, like the grief that they are experiencing in relation to the adult that you've become. Okay, I'm glad that we're getting through here. I think that something is really emerging for you out of this. So now looking at the 11th house, we are going to be looking at your sense of independence in relation to your interdependence. And I see that it's almost, if you have been the feminine, you are acknowledging, like, my goodness, I've had to stand up, be the man, face the world, to the point where, I've mastered it, and I'm like old, like I've learned a lot here. I've given a lot. It's aged me in a way, like I'm fully in this adult energy. And you're looking out and you're saying, wait, all along the world wanted to give to me. Like all along, like you're getting hints here and hints here and hints here, hints here. All along the world is right there ready to give to you. And it's like you've never seen that. You've always kind of felt like you were in charge, like you were the one creating everything, you were doing everything. And in a way you are, but it's like, you're kind of getting this co-creative thing and this ability to receive, and that it's just not all you. Like you are working with, maybe even your higher self, like an energy that is beyond the identity that you've established for yourself. And I think you're starting to have this aha moment. Now in your last house of self-transcendence, I see that you are getting good rest if you need that. That's also going to help you restore. So, before I even started this reading, I was hearing spa day, spa day. So even if you can't go to one, please take this time during this month to indulge in that if you can. Any type of activity that feels like that, as well as anything else that helps bring joy and life to you. Just getting some time alone. So if you are a busy mother or have to care for a lot of other people or working really hard, if you can take just some time down and just be with your thoughts, perhaps even meditate if you enjoy doing that. And getting in touch with that heart space that I was talking about, which you have so activated. You, like I was saying, are just, you give so much from that space. That I think what I would like you to feel is that it can restore you too. I don't want to see you feeling like you're just constantly giving from here and it's depleting you. There needs to be an energy that cycles back to you. And if you can't have that, and maybe this is it for you, because everyone that I've read for, every sign, it's just been this kind of like profound flip of the energy that they've really mastered, that we've always, attached to that sign, and it's been this like crazy 180 with it. So for you have always known how to interact with people, and that's been a big deal, your relationships. But what you may have not understood is your relationship with your environment, and that environment being alive and active and, like the nexus of the universe, always there. It's like your relationship basically with the universe. So you may be starting to establish that and bonding with it more, and realizing that you have access to that, and that this energy can bring you to a place of integrity again, and feeling good, and not feeling so edgy and dark and dense. So great. I'm absolutely loving that for you, Libra. What a profound amount of healing self-transformation you have the opportunity to experience. So I care so much about you. I'm wishing you all the best. Please take really good care of yourself. And I know you'll take care of everyone you love around you. You're fantastic at that. And, happy birthday once again. And feel free, if you want to check out any of my other readings and the playlists I have, you're more than welcome to. So you guys take care. Sending you love.